Vivian Medrano, Vivzy Pop on Twitter, she did Hazbin Hotel, which super inspired me. And a message that I wanted to get out there is like Winnipeg's homeless community. I have a lot of friends, and I've had points in my life where I've slept in my car, where I've lived in my car, and I haven't had to like live on quote unquote the streets, but I've met people, I'm friends with people, and I really wanted to plug this happy hotel idea after watching Hazbin Hotel by Vivian Medrano. I was like, why don't we have a place where these people can get socially rehabilitated and like not be judged for it? And like and as of like November this year, I think it was the 21st, they announced that cumulatively Manitoba has $6 million being donated to housing the homeless and getting them shelters and like safe use sites, like supervised safe use sites, so that nobody's gonna like overdose, but like they're allowed to be there if they're on whatever they're on, and like it's okay. And I think that's a huge step locally, but I was plugging that, and I was encouraging people to donate to the Radisson hotels internationally. I was like, if you pay for a room at a hotel, someone in crisis or like someone in a domestic situation, whether like you want to say husband or wife, like people get into altercations or sometimes whatever, but like if you need, you and your kids need a safe place to go, and you go to the Radisson and someone's prepaid for a night in the hotel when you don't have the cash, it's like one night where you can get your stuff together, have a good night's sleep. They've got the little shampoos and conditioners and toothpaste in the bathroom, and like I thought that in the same way that we buy coffee for the next person in line, why not pay it forward with hotels? And like if you just rent, like people who can afford to travel and get their flights to different cities and stay for like a week in a hotel, what's an extra night to them? The people who already have that kind of money in their pockets. But to somebody who can't afford a hotel on a night that they really need it, it could save a life. Like if someone is contemplating killing themselves or has an abusive situation in their house that they don't want to go home to, they get like a night of reprieve. And if you donate to the hotel, they might not have to fork out $200 to, you know, have food in a safe place for them and their children. So I was plugging that the whole time that I was plugging the St. Jude Cancer Care, because it's like those, like, well, welcome to my TED Talk or whatever.
No, Dana, you're plugging things that are wonderful ideas, and this is, you know, it's amazing. It's amazing. Somebody who's on the streets, who hasn't been able to shave, hasn't been able to shower, hasn't been able to brush their teeth. The thing that's keeping them from having a job and becoming a productive member of society could be one night in a hotel, getting a shave, getting a shower, and getting getting to feel human for one night, and then maybe it can be life-changing. One night.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah. Like a lot can happen in 24 hours. And like, if someone is on like, I don't know if you watch like Shameless. That was
Yes.
part of like my whole Twitter thing too.
Oh my gosh.
But
what a show.
Yeah. And for people who are like going through the steps, like I didn't personally do 12 steps. I'm very individualistic hermit style, deal with my own shit myself, try not to make my problems other people's problems. But like to people who go to the 12 steps, no offense, and I'm not trying to undermine that in any way, I just say that I like going through things myself. I don't share those kind of things outside of my music, but to someone who has a sponsor and like say their sponsor's not picking up and like they're on the verge of relapsing or in a sketchy dicey situation, or like maybe they get jumped on the way home and they just need to forget about it, like, and they've got a bad home situation that's only going to exacerbate the situation, having like the Happy Hotel Radisson thing where like they could just go to the hotel and be like, look, I need somewhere to stay. And like, it's either I'm going to stay here and just like take a bath and crash out, or like if I don't get checked in this hotel, I'm going to go meet up with my guy and then you find out that they overdosed, and like the difference could very well be a night in a hotel. Yeah. And like it might seem simple, but like it's really worth paying it forward to, like, if you can afford to stay in a hotel for a week, rent an extra night and be like, if somebody needs it, just at the front desk, like at the reception's discretion, let somebody stay in the hotel for an extra night. Like it's already paid for.
Yeah, I was listening to a podcast when the CDC was trying to help with Ebola in Africa years ago, and they were trying to get some people that in this one little community in somewhere in Africa where some of them were on drugs, on heavy drugs, nothing like not aspirin, but heavier drugs. But and what they would do is that, hey, look, we're going to treat you for this Ebola. We're going to bring you in. We're not worried about those other drugs that you're doing. They turn a little blind eye there to that. They're not going to provide the crack, the heroin, but they're not going to stop you from doing it. So you'll be on withdrawals on top of getting treated for Ebola or even some other disease. But yeah, you were talking about that Happy Hotel not providing said paraphernalia, but turning a blind eye to it, just providing you with that very human idea of taking a shower and a shave and having a place that you can sleep comfortably and safely. Yeah.
And like a lot of hotels, and I know it's not like just the Radisson, but like you've got with the complimentary breakfast or whatever, but like a lot of them will have like the breakfast buffet, the lunch buffet, the dinner buffet, where like anyone who's staying in the hotel gets to go there, and they just like, you can have as much as you want, but like you pay like, what is it, like $11.99 or $13.99 for, and you get to just have breakfast for as long as you want to have breakfast, or like have lunch as long as you want to have lunch. And like if you have enough that you can do that for your hotel guests, if they're already making the food en masse for like a 30-floor high-rise hotel with like 20 units on each level, and like to have like 5 rooms that were prepaid for, that's 5 people who otherwise would have been on the street who get breakfast, lunch, and dinner at the same times that other people are going to be eating. And like they get a full belly, they get 3 meals in a day. They get to like the 3 S's, you get shower and shave, you get to like go to the washroom, like they've got a private space, like they can go up to their room and lock the door and regain that sense of like personal boundaries. And that is one thing that like I do relate to is my mom growing up, like I was never allowed to have a bedroom door with a lock on it because she was afraid that I was going to hurt myself and that she wouldn't be able to get in. And that was like a boundary thing. But also like when I was living out of my car, it goes from like having a room or having a house. It's like, this is your space and this is as safe as you are. And when you're on the streets, like you don't have that around you. You are responsible for yourself, and like to give somebody a room that has a door that locks and like trust them with that, and like you get the bathroom, you get yourself cleaned up and 3 meals a day. It's a step up in quality of life that people take for granted.
No, if you have a little extra, if you have the means, give. And the Radisson Hotel, what a great idea. If you're staying 5 nights, give that extra 6th. And you may change a life. I'm not saying you may change a life. You will change a life. Sometimes all you need is a shower. Have you ever worked a full day and just you're grubby from 8 hours or 10 hours of work, and coming home and taking a shower makes you feel like, human again, quote unquote, human again. And imagine doing that for somebody who hasn't taken a shower in a month, in a week, in a month, in a half a year, hasn't had the dignity of having a bath and a place to sleep, a warm bed. Can you imagine how much your life would change if you haven't been had the comforts of a home? I know a lot of people, myself included, from time to time, over the years of my life, I was one paycheck away from being homeless, and losing one place for one reason or another. Hey, an apartment got sold, or a duplex got sold, or a place that you were staying got sold, so you had to find another place to live. And in transition, maybe you sleep on a park bench, and hopefully, maybe a better situation, you sleep in a car for a day. I've slept in my car, and it's not fun. It's not fun. Imagine not even having a car or the comforts of a home. Oh, Dana, you made me think. My goodness, I got to do more for my community.